Hi, I'm Faith McCann, and I've been a witch for over 40 years. And no, we are not evil. Learn more about the magical world and how the magical world affects your world right here on The Magical Alternative. And you don't have to be a witch to watch. I'm Faith McCann, and hello, Miss Laurel Ladyhawk.
Hi.
And hello, November Sound.
Happy March, everybody.
Happy March. All right. Our guests tonight, we have the incomparable Dr. Jeremy Weiss and Chacam Leah from the Temple of Miriam and Prophetess, and they're going to be doing a book review on ancient love manuals. Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
And we have two amazing songs with November Sound. So stick around and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Faith McCann, the host of The Magical Alternative. I really hope you've been enjoying our show. Have you checked out the other interesting, entertaining, and informative shows here at Community Voice Channel? Local government, religion, and entertainment right here in your home or on your personal digital device. Well, public access television is in danger of being canceled. I know, that's right. Government funding is being cut, and we want to continue giving you the shows that you enjoy. You can show your support by scanning this QR code with your smartphone and make any size donation. All donations go to keep your favorite shows coming to you every month. We thank you for your support. Welcome back. Tonight, we'll be talking about superstitions common in New England. New England was the second area in North America successfully settled in 1621, after Jamestown, Virginia in 1607. When the settlers came, they brought along with them traditions, beliefs, and culture, as well as folk superstitions. And these superstitions are ancient magical beliefs.
So superstitions were small omens that farmers and average people looked for in their day-to-day life, whether it be for how the weather's going to be, how things in the future were going to look for them. They would look for certain omens or certain what they call superstitions these days.
To predict how their lives were going to be. Well, when the first settlers came to these shores, they met the people here, and there were no borders except for those that were living here indigenously, different tribes. And those tribes were not just the Native Americans we're familiar with that were all through North America, but also Mexican Native Americans in the Southwest, Alaska Natives in the Northwest Alaska region. And of course, we also would have encountered the Indigenous peoples of Canada, which are the First Nations, the Inuit, and the Métis.
So the Indigenous people of North America would have their superstitions and common names of their moons for either the full moon or the new moon. And tonight we're going to tell you what some of those names are.
Yeah. Part of their traditional naming system is based on a lunar cycle that determines seasonal changes and natural phenomenon. So
January is considered by the Indigenous people as the wolf moon, on account of that's where they say the wolves howl the most looking for food, because it's hard to find in January.
That's true.
There's snow.
Yeah, not a lot of food in January.
No.
February was the snow moon.
If you live in New England, you know why. March, the worm moon, because the trails of the worms would be shown in the newly thawed out soil. And that would mark the beginning of spring.
toward the end of March.
Toward the end of March, yeah.
April was called the pink moon, and that was because of the common phlox, which is naturally pink, and that grows all through North America.
May is the flower moon because
First flower moon.
First flower moon because
First flowers.
first flowers.
After the phlox.
Yes.
June is the strawberry moon, which makes sense.
Yep. July, the buck moon, because the bucks, their antlers would be visible, start to become visible during that time.
Fully visible,
Yeah,
actually, by
yeah,
this time.
yeah.
They start earlier, but apparently they're fully visible, I guess. They're full grown by that time. At least that's what the legend says. August is the sturgeon moon, which is a very large fish, and it is found in all freshwater lakes and rivers all throughout North America, from Canada all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico and even the Pacific.
The harvest moon is also in August.
No, not necessarily.
No, not necessarily. It is the first full moon closest to the autumn equinox, harvest. Does not necessarily mean it has to be after it, or it could be before it, 2 weeks, or 2 weeks after.
That's right.
Yes.
It could be 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after the closest full moon to the autumn equinox. So it could be the August one, could be the September one. But regardless, the August moon is still the sturgeon moon, and the September moon is the corn moon.
Right.
So, and Miss Laurel, what is the October moon?
Hunter's moon.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's hunting season. So,
Hunting
right?
season. November is the beaver moon, and that is when the beavers are out making their nests, and also a good time for us to follow the beavers, getting ready, preparing for winter, getting our things set.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting our stuff together. And then December, the cold moon.
And it is cold, bone-crushing cold here in southern New England in December. I think it's the coldest. Or whether we're acclimated.
I don't know.
Maybe
it
we're
seems pretty
acclimated.
cold
No.
in February
I think
sometimes.
December is the worst. So, well, those are the names. If you've seen other names for the full moon, they could be colonial settlers' names. There are many different names that come from different parts of the world, people that bring them from different parts of the old country. But these are the ones that are attributed to the Native Americans that lived in North America. So we're giving them the credit for these names. So,
And that will bring us to superstitions.
well, white settler superstition.
White settler superstition.
I put this in for the moon simply because superstitious in a way that they're looking forward to it, because depending on the climate, the season, natural disasters, things like that, you might have good hunting in October, you might not.
Right.
Beavers might be building their dams, or if you had a horrible flood come through, maybe not.
Right.
But if all things go according to legend and lore, this is going to happen. So this is indigenous people superstitions. Now we have white settlers come along, and they bring their superstitions with us, or with them.
Right.
So tell us about that.
Well, there's so many different superstitions that come from different.
Superstitions feel silly to modern man,
Yeah.
but it was a blanket of comfort and protection for the ancient folk living in a dangerous, uncertain world where they had little or no control.
Right.
I mean, today, life can be uncertain, but back then nothing was guaranteed when life was dependent upon harvest, crops, and a storm coming in. Today, you hear people hunkering down. We're going to ride out this hurricane or this storm.
Right.
Back then, you didn't ride it out, because if your entire crop was wiped out, pretty much life could have been over.
Right.
So, and right now, Miss Laurel wants to take a moment to annoy you.
Oh, I do. Oh,
Right here.
All right, I'll annoy. All right. Please like or subscribe or donate to your public access TV station. We're going to put the QR code right over here. Now we're going to get back to
Superstitions.
superstitions.
Well, we're going to focus on superstitions of New England. And it's no coincidence in New England that so many of our longtime superstitions involve the weather. So why don't you start us off?
We'll say If you see a patch of white clover, it says that there will be a drought.
My father loves this one, and I've been kind of, teasing him all year. It's like there wasn't a drought this year because it's been kind of wet. And white clover does like really nice fertile soil, but scientists do, I got to give Dad credit. I did look it up. White clover can indicate low nitrogen, compaction of the soil, and drought stress conditions in the soil. So
Yeah.
Dad gets a point there. He was right.
And did you know that if cows are lying down, that rain is close?
Yes, being raised on a dairy farm, I did know that.
I did
cool.
not.
Well, a ring around the moon also means a storm is coming.
That's right. And if the wind starts to turn over the leaves, that means rain is close by. It's like coming.
That's
if you see
true.
the leaves blowing and they're flipped over,
Oh, yeah.
it's going to get wet.
Always.
Always.
Now, year round, when you boil the water out of the veggies on the stove, a storm is coming. Now, you didn't know
I
this.
didn't know this. This was interesting to me.
Well, you might not be paying attention, but if you're busy in the kitchen, you're running around, you're making a dinner, and you're like, all the water boiled out of my vegetables on the stove. For our family, it was always the peas for some reason. Maybe we ate a lot of peas. But it has to do with the barometric pressure, and it is a real thing. Some things just boil out. It just evaporates faster. And when a storm is coming, the barometric pressure changes. So that really is a thing. So, and the next one. Have you ever heard of this?
The first day it snows, heavy enough to track a cat dusting.
It could just be a dusting. For instance, this year, the first day, it snowed enough to track a cat. It wasn't just a few flurries in the sky, but it actually laid down, and you could actually make tracks in it, was December 3rd. Well, that means there should only be 3 heavy storms. We've only really had enough to really plow once, and that was only about 3 inches. So maybe 2 more storms, or
Not according to the weatherman I watched on TV last night. He said we're in for a nice wet February.
really wet
Yeah.
or
Wet.
snowy.
Snowy
No,
wet.
this means
Yeah,
snowy.
Yeah,
Okay.
snowy.
Well,
Snowy.
let's see.
So we'll
Let's
see.
And this is a summer one. This is my dad's favorite, so I'll make sure I watch this when I see him this summer. My dad's favorite, St. Swithin's Day. St. Swithin's Day is July 15th, always on July 15th. And it is said legendarily that if it rains on this day, it will rain for the next 40 days. And if it is dry on this day, it will be dry for the next 40 days. Well, the legend is based on the following. St. Swithin was an Anglo-Saxon bishop in Winchester who died in 863 AD. In 971 AD, Bishop Ethelwald moved St. Swithin's remains from his resting place to a shrine in Winchester Cathedral. A violent storm followed and a rain fell for 40 days. A legend was born saying that the spirit of St. Swithin was displeased that his final resting place was disturbed. Now, no evidence that rainy weather or dry has ever followed this saint's feast day. I think it's more of a warning during the early Middle Ages or Dark Ages not to disturb a grave site. So, but they don't have any evidence that it's ever happened. My dad keeps hoping. He loves rainy weather. He's a farmer, so rainy weather is a good thing for farmers. So,
Okay.
what about the next one, Miss Laurel? This is a good one.
Birds feed like crazy a day before a storm, but will get very quiet a few hours before the storm hits. So that's true. I've seen that. I've noticed that. I've watched the birds going crazy before a storm, and then it gets really quiet. And
You don't see anything, yeah.
Yeah.
No squirrels, no birds.
Nothing. Yeah.
Grosbeaks feeding at a feeder. Some feel indicate a storm is coming. And of course, we've all heard here in New England how robins are usually a sign of springtime. Now, there are other superstitions not involving weather foretelling.
Right.
And
Like
like you read
clovers.
the next one.
Clovers. The Celts during the Middle Ages, clovers would represent faith, hope, love, and good luck. And believing that carrying a 4-leaf clover gives the person that's carrying it the ability to see fairies.
Another one comes from the Celts.
Yeah.
Knocking on wood.
Where's your knock on wood?
Oh, I hope I don't mess up my... Okay, here we go. Knock on wood. I carry this all the time. My dad made it for me. It's willow. If you're going to, because a lot of people want to just knock on wood, that really does a job on your knuckles.
Especially if you're constantly knocking on wood.
Yeah. So you get a piece of willow, and I put it on my keychain and I knock that way. It saves on the knuckles. And you're really supposed to knock the willow. The old legend is they felt that fairy spirits lived in the wood of trees, and knocking on the wood, there's a lot of feelings as to why that is good luck. Some feel that it's to control the spirits, to have them protect you, to scare bad spirits away. It's really a way of getting their attention, because why do you knock on a door? It's to get somebody's attention so they come and open it, isn't it? So it's really getting their attention and asking for their help. So if you were to say, it hasn't snowed very much this year, and I really don't want it to, knock on wood, so it doesn't bring those words back and make me regret them.
Right, right.
So we really don't want it to snow a lot this year. We don't control the elemental spirits. We work with them in conjunction, being kind to the elements and nature around us. That's what the witch does. We don't control it. So.
Yep. And then another superstition is that lightning never strikes the same place twice. Although, with modern technology, putting lightning rods up on top of the buildings tends to make
really big buildings.
Really big buildings makes it get hit more than once. But
when you invite lightning to strike you.
Hence the name lightning rod.
Yeah. And there is an old superstition about not opening an umbrella indoors. I've done a lot of extensive research on that, and they want to go and say that it has to do with the Egyptians and the sun god Ra, and there's I could teach an entire lecture, which I probably will next week, as to why that just simply doesn't make sense. The danger of opening an umbrella didn't really come about until collapsible umbrellas that they could then open, and the very first ones did not open gently like ours today. They were actually like spring-loaded, and when you opened them, they opened very quickly, and inside a house, they were big, they were unwieldy. There reports of people getting injured, children getting injured, things breaking, things going flying. They were quite a comedy of errors. So bringing them indoors was considered more of a pragmatic type of don't do that, rather than a magical superstition. So what's the next one?
Never build a home on the foundation of a home that is burned down. It's very bad luck.
Yes. And don't walk under a ladder. This goes as far back as ancient Egypt, with the ladder leaning against the wall created a triangle, and it was believed spirits resided in that triangle of space. They loved their triangles, their pyramids, and walking through the space disturbed them. This went all the way up into 17th century England, when criminals were forced to walk under a ladder to get to the gallows, thus bringing definite bad luck to the criminal. Oh, I think Priscilla, one of our camera people, mentioned this one about walking on a crack.
Right.
Well, I did some research.
Yeah, you walk on a crack. That stems from the ancient belief that cracks represent the openings into the underworld and evil spirits. Thus, stepping on them could invite bad luck and troubles.
And
not only that, it could break your mom's back.
Oh, we wouldn't want to do that.
No.
That's terrible. They do say that particular part was more to engage with small children.
Yes.
As far as the nursery rhyme went. So,
yeah.
But it was just basically bringing bad luck and troubles. So.
Right.
And breaking a mirror, that would bring bad luck, because they believe because of your reflection in the mirror, it would trap your soul somehow in there. But wouldn't you want to crack the mirror to let your soul out?
You would think.
Yeah. The one thing that they don't say about some of these is the pragmatic part of the superstitions, and mirrors were extremely expensive. They were very rare, they were expensive, only the wealthy could afford them. They started off by being polished silver. Silver itself was something the average person couldn't afford. Once they got to the point of actually making mirrored glass, extremely expensive. Not at all like today, so if you had a mirror, you would keep it right up until when it absolutely couldn't work anymore. Everything was off of it. So breaking it was breaking a very hefty investment.
Right.
Not good luck at all.
No.
And
then the horseshoe, the Greeks had used it by hanging it upright, and eventually it found their way to the British Isles in the Middle Ages. It was felt that witches feared horses and would shy away from anything associated with them, but we like horses a lot.
We love horses, so yeah,
no.
That doesn't work, no. As a matter of fact, iron has a very magical history in and of itself when it comes to the superstitions. There is a reason why even today prisons use iron bars. There's probably something even more effective when it comes to keeping people, incarcerated, but iron bars are still used, as well as shackles and handcuffs. I know you see zip ties all the time, but I guarantee you, if you asked a police officer, because you can saw through or cut through the zip ties, but you're not going to cut through iron handcuffs. No. So if they had a choice, I bet you they'd stick with the handcuffs, except they're heavy. And iron has always had a magical belief that it contained evil. So, if you were to follow the dots the way ancient people believed, somebody that was a criminal would be evil. You kept iron on them to prevent them from escaping or using magical means to escape. But if you're fortunate enough to know a blacksmith, and who knows a blacksmith these days, you can have them make you a ring fashioned out of an iron nail. And once you take that nail, have them twist it into a ring. You don't put it on your finger to wear, but you carry it. It's a very powerful protection magic to have, and one of the best gifts to get as a witch.
Absolutely. One of these days I'll get one.
Who knows a blacksmith? So.
I don't.
And what's
and
this
then,
one?
Of course, the black cat. The black cat has been considered good, and it's been considered evil, depending on where you're from.
That's right.
And it depending on what type of time of history you're talking about.
That's right.
So,
And then we have the rabbit's foot, and that comes from hoodoo, the hoodoo tradition.
Yeah.
So, well, those are just some of the New England superstitions that we wanted to share with you.
Anybody knows of any others that they'd like to join, let us know about. You can always email us at magicalalt1818@gmail.com. And we're always happy to get comments and questions. So,
yeah, send us an email. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, and thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Now I have a great treat for you. Our good friend, Dr. Jeremy Weiss and Chacam Leah of the Temple of Miriam, the Prophetess, is going to discuss love manuals from the 13th century. All right.
Yeah.
That's how we met. Which,
So you both did individual spells, and you both met each other?
I met teaching a particular Jewish love spell
Yeah.
at the Jewish Magic Festival.
And I was enchanted.
And
It worked.
we've been together ever since.
Yeah. But I was looking for somebody like him, and
And I was done. I was not,
That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, because you could
Yeah.
see the energy between you two. So great.
absolutely.
Well, you're also right. There's different, you talked about maintenance, right? So we have in the Jewish tradition, there's Jewish sex magic, right? That's it. And in fact, I can even pull. This is very interesting. I brought with me. This is it's called the Book of Woman's Love. It's a 13th century spell book. It's medieval spell book. Sefer Ahavat Nashim. Sefer means book. Ahavat is love. Nashim is women. Okay, so Book of Women's Love, and in it there are lots of different formulas, Jewish formulas for to make themselves more attractive and more. There's spells for abortion, fertility, and all the other things that we think about that are associated with love, right? And then there's another book which is fascinating that I wanted to point out. This is called the Holy Letter. It's called the Igeret Kodesh, and you can see it in Hebrew there, and stuff. And the Igeret Kodesh is it's if you read it, it's super sex magic. It's talking about bodily fluids and lubricants and various directions and positions for sexual congress.
What era was that book written in?
Oh gosh, this is
The other
also
one you
medieval.
said was the 1300s.
Yeah, I think this is also
Medieval?
Yeah, I'll have to look.
Oh,
I
wow.
think it is. But what's interesting about it is that it's also used today in the Lubavitch community, okay, which is a specific sect of Hasidic Jews, for bibliomancy on advice. And you open up the Igeret Kodesh to a specific page, and you happen to be maybe reading about someone's vaginal fluids. It might be that's where you're getting your, and this is done with this particular book. And I'll just read the back of it, which has a quote in English from this book. It says, "Know that the union of a man with his wife is divided into two parts. Know that the sexual intercourse of a man with his wife is holy and pure, and when done properly and in the proper time and with the proper intention." That's the same as sex magic, right? With intention, right? Kavanah at the time of orgasm is a foundational, way of sealing sex magic. No one should think that sexual intercourse is ugly and loathsome. God forbid. Now, this is considered a holy book, okay? And they're saying in this holy book, progressive book, no one should think that sexual intercourse is ugly and loathsome. God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Very sex
Without
positive,
it, we wouldn't be here.
That's very positive.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that is really cool. It's almost like the Kama Sutra.
Yes, it is. It is the
From
Kama Sutra
Hebrew.
of Judaism. It
Yeah,
is the
from
Jewish
Judaism.
Kama Sutra, and it talks about sexual positions and timing and time.
Would it have been,
act.
since you are a legitimate medical doctor, would this have been a type of early physician's manual from perhaps the Middle Ages, which did not really have medical science at that time?
Absolutely. Well, this one I would consider to be more spiritual, okay? And it is making very sort of divine, feminine, higher level cosmology kind of like correlations and stuff. This book is more exactly like what you say, a proto-science book that crosses the boundary between a medical textbook and a grimoire. And so, yeah, there are things in here like how to make certain cosmetics, because cosmetics do make women attractive at that time in that era. and would be like, where else are you gonna find this?
Right.
You know, and it was like one of the
For like
first
midwifery and
midwifery and
You were saying some of the different things in there would fall into the
women's disease
gynecological.
and gynecology is
Yeah.
obstetrics.
Women's
Uh,
diseases and gynecology.
Oh,
A corpus on healthcare.
Women's healthcare. That's so progressive.
Wow.
And it's the 13th century, a text on cosmetics and the books of women's love,
Yeah.
a care for health and beauty. So they're talking about things like, breast enhancement, sexuality and eroticism, so how to make things happen when they're in the bedroom that need to be happening when they need to be happening.
Now, this was a Hebrew book, or no?
Yeah. Yes.
This is. So this, along with the other one coming out in the Middle Ages, knowing what we do about that being the burning times and the Catholic Church doing what they were doing. I mean, how risky was this book? Where was it actually available?
So Igaret Kodesh is 13th century. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's say so. Okay. It's
unknown.
It's an unknown authorship, and it's attributed to Nachmanides, who and it is an esoteric Kabbalistic work. Okay, and the Book of Women's Love. There was only one copy, which dates from the late 15th century. Okay, but it's considered to be a late medieval book, a manuscript. Okay, and that was, of course, finally bound in 1571. Now, remember, the printing press was just invented in the late 1480s, right? And 1550 is the first printing of a Jewish book, I believe, in Hebrew. And so there is a copy of this book. So it was one of the earliest books ever printed with a printing press using Hebrew, right? It's from 1571. And the manuscript is probably earlier. So and so there you go. So that's where it's from.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. So, other types of Jewish love magic. Got a few more minutes for this. Do you have any favorite spells?
What's the one spell that you have to have a mirror and you look at two dogs mating or something like that? That one's really funny. Do you have that one in there? Do you like
That sounds fun.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it's hilarious.
Well, on my website, I have a downloadable manuscript.
Chacam.
Yeah. And it has over 30 love spells, classic Jewish love spells, in it, and the manuscript is in the ebook section. Okay. And the one that Leah's referencing is, let's see if we can find it in that manuscript.
Oh, that one's so gross.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You want to read it?
Where is it? Okay, yeah. Okay. To arouse passion, purchase a new mirror and scrape some of the pitch off of the back of the glass. In the blank space, write the name, first name, son or daughter of mother's first name of the person you wish to fall in love with you 3 times. Then hold this mirror in front of 2 dogs that are copulating so that their image is reflected in the mirror. Don't mind the neighbors. After this, have your desired lover look into the mirror and then hide the mirror for 9 days in a spot that they pass frequently. Finally, wear the mirror on your person.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 30 of those.
I mean, they're
in that
amusing.
manuscript.
Some of them are
I'll
really
stick with getting roses. Thank you.
chocolates and roses.
That's roses. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I think that was really fascinating and very interesting. And thank you, Dr. Jeremy Weiss and Chacam Leah. That was really interesting. Thank you so much. And check out more at the Temple of Miriam right here at their website if you're interested in finding out more. Now, November Sound.
Makes you feel alright. Get you anything, my brand living makes you feel alright. I don't care too much money, money can't buy me love. I'll give you all I've got to give if you say you love me too. I may not have a lot to give, but what I got, I give to you. I don't care too much money. Money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so, I can't buy me love. No, 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 no. Say you don't need no diamond ring and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want the kind of things that money I just can't buy. I don't care too much money. Money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so, I can't buy me love. No, 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 no. Little solo here, Bill. Woo. Say you don't need no diamond ring and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want the kind of things that money I just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so, I can't buy me love. No, 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 no. Say you don't need no diamond ring and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want the kind of things that money I just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Love can't buy me love. Oh, yeah. Thank you. You need balance, they say. I curse the skies that turn to gray, far off where the sunset meets the sea. Balance their words, and balance there shall be. We only need one wheel. The smallest spark can start a flame. We don't need any brakes when we're drowning in the sand. when all I love is taken away. Far from the distance I can see balance there was, imbalance there shall be. We only need one life. The smallest soul can make a change. We don't need any lights flying down this lane. Oh, we're already gone. No, it didn't take long. It's only one wheel, only one wheel. As still as I can be, my arms are open wide. As far as I can see, I wish that I could fly, fly, fly. We only need one wheel. The smallest spark can start a flame. We don't need any brakes when we're driving insane. We only need one life. The smallest spark can start a flame. We don't need any lights flying down this lane. Da 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 da. Balance there was, and balance there shall be.
And that was November Sound.
Great,
Awesome.
always.
Welcome back. Tonight, Miss Laurel and I are going to do something special for you. We are going to demonstrate how you at home can make spell bottles. Now, don't freak out. Nothing wrong with making spell bottles. They're just a little something you can put together. Whoops, we're not.
We're not?
Here we go. We're gonna get this. It's all right.
So while she's getting that, here are some samples of some other spell bottles that we've got.
She's
Ones
got it.
that have little pictures in. that
Well,
you
those are
put
tarot
in.
cards I've cut up.
So-
I use all kinds of things on spell bottles. If you have a tarot deck that maybe you don't like, or you've missed a few cards, lost a few cards, that happens. People don't want to throw them out because usually they're pretty expensive, so they're like, what do I do with them? Look through them. Let me see one of those. Like this one here. Oh, this one's for legal aid. If you're having problems, most of the spell jars I make them and I seal them, and they have little shaky things in them, herbs and stones and other little tchotchkes, I guess you'd call them, so you can just shake them. It brings that energy around. Put them in a corner of your house where you can see them, or maybe on a certain area, prosperity you might want to put
Right.
on bills, things like that, that'll get paid. This is for peace. I did this one to bring peace into parts of the world that really need it right now.
This is also another one for peace, and as you can see, there's a charm that's glued on there. You
peace
can
charm.
you can add beads to it, and you can put pins in,
And to start, how do you start? Well, you can use any kind of jar at home. It has to have a top on it. I love this one. This is so nice. The blue, because blue is a natural color that repels evil, repels harm. Water repels evil and harm. Blue repels evil and harm. So this is just lovely. And a salt, of course, is a natural repellent of things that are harmful. So blessed water is usually salt and water. So find a bottle that you like. This is a really cool one you brought in, something that might be special or that has some type of meaning for you, or maybe it's just a little jelly jar. or an old wine bottle or something that you have that's
Right.
nice. And then what would you do next? What kind do you want to make, Miss Laurel?
Well, we can do a protection one. Why don't we do protection?
Take
We
the
have the blue. You like the blue.
Blue
so-
is so nice, so we'll
Yeah.
take that and let's see. Well, first, let's add some. Why don't you pick some herbs?
Okay, so we've got some
While you're picking herbs, I'm going to go through the different. If you're like any
black
other magical person,
peppercorns
you've
and
collected
red peppercorns.
charms. Maybe you've had earrings, pendants, rings that have lost a stone or something. We never throw any of that stuff out because
Juniper berries.
always
we've
use it. Got a hamsa. I'm going to throw that in there. And hamsa is just the little hand. Some of you have asked about the
Gal.
hamsa. The hamsa was first known as the hand of Miriam from the Judaic culture. Then it became the hand of Mary from the Christian culture, and then the Muslims use it as the hand of Muhammad. So it covers all three Abrahamic religions, and it is protection.
This one has
Primarily for women.
a little evil eye on it.
Oh, it's got a little. No, it's not the evil eye. It's the Nazar.
Nazar.
Which keeps
Right.
the evil eye
Right,
away.
right,
But
right,
people
right.
do call it the evil eye because it's easy.
Right.
Drop that in there. We can throw a little pentacle in there, which is always protection. Protection, protection, protection. What else do you like in there? Anything?
Sure. How about a key?
Oh, a key is good, yes. Because a key will unlock doors or will lock doors, keeping you safe and protected. So we can throw those in there. And all right, so what kind of herbs have you
So
picked?
I've got some red and black pepper seeds,
Oh, that's good.
peppercorns.
Pepper is very good for protection. So do you want to grind them up a little bit or you just want to put them in whole?
Yeah, let's put them in whole.
Okay.
It'll give it a little bit of, if you shake it, it'll give it a little bit of a noise.
Pick a little bit, a few
Stones.
stones. Okay. Oh, all right. I've got some hematite or red ochre.
I've also got some black onyx here too.
Oh, black onyx is good. Amber is always good. You don't have to put a lot in there. You can always put a crystal point if you have one, and a little jet. So you got something that'll make the shaking noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Herbs. and you can add some.
One thing you brought home from home
Yep.
is a cat's claw. If you have a kitty and it sheds a claw, people will collect them and they don't know what to do with it. Well, you could always throw it in. You could take it out of the bag, or you could leave it in the bag if you'd like and stick it in there.
Gal and Gal, Low John Conqueror.
Let me see.
Oh.
Galangalo. Low John the Conqueror. That is very good for protection. You're right.
And some juniper berries.
Juniper berries. And if you want, you can also write a little piece of paper, what we call a petition. You could write something like, thank you for protecting my home, thank you for protecting my car, thank you for protecting me. And oh, yes, a few rusty nails. Rusty nails are always helpful. Just throw a few in. Three.
Three is a good number.
3 is a good number.
We like 3.
You want to put anything else like salt?
How
or-
about we could throw a couple of drops of oil in there?
Okay.
We have. I know.
Cypress, we've got bergamot, we've got lemon. Lemon's very good for protection.
Oh, and maybe some silver glitter.
Okay, we'll put some lemon in there.
Give it a little bit of sparkle.
There we go. And if you had a tarot deck that you wanted to use, I would put any of the, well, it depends. You could put the swords in there for protection. Those are always good to
might
use.
be
I wouldn't use a
Athame
5
in
of
here.
swords. I would use maybe a 10 of swords or an ace of swords, a knight of swords to protect you, the queen of swords, the king of swords, something like that. Whatever you feel is best to protect you. So, and once that is done,
Now, there is an athame here, but I don't think I would put that in there because you don't cut with an athame. Only
You
you
don't-
don't actually cut.
that's why I would use the sword
Sword.
of the
Right.
tarot.
Right.
So after you do that, I would put a little bit of glue on here, so I seal it up, because I'm very conscious of the fact I don't want somebody to come along and think it's something that they could eat or any other way use. So I will seal it. I usually put a label on it. I date it. Never store it in the refrigerator. Give it a good shake. You could charge it by putting it under a moon for protection. A full moon is really cool. It's already looking really nice with the shiny glitter in there. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, and give it a good shake. And every couple of moons, maybe every full moon, every new moon, you can just go and give it a shake. Envision your entire home being surrounded. I like to imagine mine being surrounded by this huge dragon. I have a vision that it comes out of this cave super, super far away, and it flies toward my home, and it's so big, it lays on top of the house and surrounds it completely with its wings. I've had that vision, oh my goodness, going on over 40 years now. And I always envision that before I go to sleep at night. And it protects my home. I have another one that protects my business, and it just keeps it safe.
Mine is a force field.
A force field, whatever you want to vision.
Put up the force fields.
Yeah.
Mr. Spock.
Whatever makes you feel like that is protecting you, it is going to work. And everyone's can be a little bit different.
And you can put whatever is special to you, you know? I mean, like, we have like a couple of loved ones that I wrote a little thing, and it says, bottle of love made by me, surround me always, so mote it be. I mean, something a little sweet, and you can, or you could, money come to me as I will it, so mote it be.
You know, if you do something like this for money, you could throw in some money stones, a green stone, or gold stones. You could throw in some herbs. Chamomile is a great money drawing herb. A little bit of basil, a little bit of green. And then put it somewhere, maybe in your office or where you do your bills, your finances, and shake it, and then put it down, and then focus on paying your bills, or maybe shake it before you go to work every morning, or shake it when you come home from work every night, and that will help you kind of put that extra energy out there. And then it will come back to you, because what we send out comes back to us. You can repurpose things. Buttons. Yeah.
Who doesn't have a grandmother that has a big box of buttons?
Right?
And they're all different colors, so
Exactly.
you can use red for love, throw some red buttons in there, or green for money,
Yeah, silver for protection, gold for protection. Yeah.
Right.
So I hope you guys will try this. Don't throw your glass jars out. Save them and throw a few little things in them. And you don't have to make them pretty. They don't have to be super amazing. Just something that you put together is really, really awesome. So I hope this was helpful and you found an idea that you can use at home. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Is it your dream to be on television, to have your own TV show? How do you do it? Contact your local public access television station in your town, and they will help you get your idea, your show, your concept on the air. It's super fun, and we recommend you do it.
Absolutely.
I want to thank everyone on the crew of Magical Alternative and at CVC Public Access for their help tonight and for everything. We couldn't do this show without them. Welcome back, Miss Laurel. You were terribly missed last week. Thank you.
Those kidney stones, they're no joke, let me tell you.
Welcome back. Well, we're going to keep focusing on peace in the Middle East until all the hostages are home.
And it happened to me. Hide your heart from sight, lock your dreams at night. It could happen to you. Don't count stars or you might stumble. Someone dropped a stay and down you tumble. Keep an eye on runs free. Run when church bells ring.